In recent weeks, U.S. Senate leaders from both parties sounded pretty confident Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin would keep her seat this November. That despite two viable Republican challengers. A report in Politico last week noted that both Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer had essentially called Baldwin the frontrunner. And as a result, they've taken the Wisconsin contest off their list of top-tier Senate races in the country. But in that same report, Baldwin sounded the alarm, suggesting she could lose if Democrats are complacent. Joining me now is ABC Political Director Rick Klein. Rick, thanks very much again for being with us on the program today. And let's talk about Tammy Baldwin's concerns. Why is she concerned?
Two big reasons that I've heard, and you do hear increasing concern in Washington and beyond. One is that Wisconsin Democrats have seen this movie before. A whole lot of folks nationally and in Wisconsin thought that Russ Feingold was going to beat Ron Johnson. He was described to me by Republicans as dead man walking, Senator Johnson. And of course, we didn't see that happen. The other thing is that Tammy Baldwin is running unabashedly far to the left of even many in her own party, in a state that President Trump shocked the world by carrying. So you have a situation where there are a number of Democratic senators up in states that are carried by President Trump. A lot of them are trying to get close to President Trump. Tammy Baldwin is doing the opposite and testing her reliability and reliance on the Democratic base in Wisconsin.
Based on the people you're talking to nationally, Rick, this race supposedly was off the top-tier list of Senate races in the country. Is that being reconsidered by Republicans? Is it being reconsidered by Democrats, for that matter?
It isn't on the top tier, but it's getting close. There's just so much fertile territory there for Republicans, and they have Democrats that they're targeting in very red states like West Virginia, like North Dakota, like Missouri, like Montana. So they have so many opportunities out there that Wisconsin, I think, is just basically fallen off just because there's other ones crowding it out. But a lot of folks are watching it because of the amount of money that could potentially get dumped in there from outside groups. And again, because Senator Baldwin has staked out that far left position in her own party, her reliance on the so-called resistance on the Democratic base has got to be a lot stronger, because you're not going to get really many or any voters crossing over who voted for President Trump, realistically, voting for Tammy Baldwin.
From a financial standpoint, Senator Baldwin does seem to be in pretty good shape, does she not?
She does. She has done her homework in terms of fundraising, and I'll tell you this: if she ends up losing a race or getting closer than it was expected, it's not because she was asleep at the wheel. That may be the case with other senators. You don't hear that critique leveled at Tammy Baldwin. I think the bigger concern is the atmospherics and which side is going to turn out. That said, there will be lots of money dumped in on the Republican side, including some outside groups like the Koch brothers, in trying to steal that Senate race. They would love to make some more headway in Wisconsin, a state that has seen so much high-profile national political activity in the last couple of years.
Rick, Senator Baldwin said this past week that she will not support the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh. How much do you see Republicans trying to use that against Tammy Baldwin in this race?
There's no question they'll use it, and the fact that she came out that early. But the fact is, I think anyone that was considering voting for Senator Baldwin based on her vote on the Supreme Court hasn't been paying attention. There was no realistic scenario where she was going to support this nominee. I think we can be pretty clear about that. It's a bigger risk, frankly, for senators in places like West Virginia and Indiana and Missouri and Montana and North Dakota, where you've got to have a lot of Trump crossover voters, and there might be an incentive to cozy up to the president. You stake out a more moderate position. That's not Senator Baldwin, and frankly, it's not Wisconsin either. So I think what her calculation here is, she was going to come out against this nominee anyway. Do it clearly, do it early, and make that the motivating issue for your own base of voters.
All right, ABC Political Director Rick Klein, thanks so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
Just this week, the Republican primary in that U.S. Senate race took on a new, tougher tone. Groups supporting Leah Vukmir and Kevin Nicholson ran ads attacking their primary opponent. Our editorial partner, WisPolitics.com, tracks the ads and the spending on its election blog. Coming up next on Up Front, the Democratic race for governor and the local organization trying to make sense out of a crowded field of 8 candidates.